Hey everyone, it's Allie, and today's going to be the day one update for Poison's Concoction Pathfinder. I figured that these daily updates are probably going to be a little bit better, given we have a lot of new players who are playing, and with these videos, I can kind of just ramble for a few minutes discussing what I did that day, the upgrades I made, why I made them, and what my plans are for the next day, just so people have a little bit more of granularity when it comes to exactly how I personally went about progressing everything. So with that, let's go over the gear and how my day one went, talk about Mercenaries a little bit, and talk about my plans for day two. So day one went perfectly. My Act 1, Act 3 were a little bit peg up. It was not my finest showing, but afterwards everything picked up and I had a great time. Fortunately, did not get lucky and got my PConc while doing lab, but in Act 7, I stopped for a little bit, did some lockpicking contracts, and ended up buying myself a Poison's Concoction of Bouncing, which honestly felt like cheating because my god, this skill is busted and I just deleted every Act boss instantly and it was really, really hilarious. Outside that, I simply just follow along with the plan that I told everyone to do. Collect all of your contracts and then go and run them in Act 10. And well, I made quite a lot of money off of it and managed to get every single item I wanted with the exception of lepers because, well, I think you can see why I didn't get lepers. It's not a case of it's actually meant to be worth this much. It's just day one. It's a kind of rare item. And well, there's kind of a lot more people playing PConc than we thought there were. So quite a lot of people looking at this shield right now. And honestly, you don't need it. A rare shield's just as good. And this will go down in price pretty quickly over the next few days. But outside that, I got all my uniques and I'm really happy with my setup. I first went and purchased a mark of submission after I got my Poison Concoction of Bouncing. Just so I could put a temp chains in here, more damage, felt great, and I didn't really need my ring socket because I had more than enough res without it. After that, I went and saved for a Fury Valve. This was around 33 chaos when I bought it. Unfortunately, it's probably closer to about 100 C now, so that might be one of the final things you want to buy, but if it does start going down in price, and if you do happen to get a little bit lucky on items that you get, probably worth it to pick up one of these ASAP because it'll make getting into maps even easier as the all res on it just makes res capping that much easier as that is your number one priority walking into your first few maps. From there, I end up saving a little bit more money and got myself a Sorrow for about 10 chaos or so. You unfortunately don't get the flask automation crafts until you actually finish the campaign. And then once you do, they're unlocked to your crafting bench. So all I'd have to do is just come over here, shove it in here, and then just simply put used when chargers reach full on it to automate it. And I'll just do this tomorrow as I don't have the currency to do it currently. And I'm a little bit too tired. I'm going to immediately go to bed once this video is recorded. After that, I went and got myself a Topaz Flask with increased charge recovery on it and increased Ellie res. You don't need to find Ellie res here. It's just nice to have because with a little bit of charge recovery like this, I'm going to have 100% uptime on this flask once I automate it, assuming I go and pick up Careful Conservationist, which is probably the next thing I'm going to do. My tree is a little bit different from what I recommended people to do. This is just a case of Allie kind of just does her own thing. It's why I always tell people, do as I say, not as I do, because I always just do my own wild thing and I probably don't recommend to one-to-one copy my exact tree and just keep sticking with exactly what the build guide says to do. With that, I can then put on my lightning coil as soon as I automate this first thing in the morning, and that should be pretty comfortable. The final thing I got in terms of gear was saving up for a pair of Asenaths. There weren't any on the market, so I ended up just buying the Gift of Asenath card, turning it in, and praying that they don't brick because you have a chance to get these with a bad curse on hit on the implicit and they're effectively worthless. First one unfortunately hinted, but second one I got lucky and got temp chains, which doesn't brick the gloves. The rest of my gear is nothing special. I have just a random belt that I got off the ground, a random pair of boots with 20% movement speed on them, a shield with a little bit of life on a movement speed base, a random chest plate, and a random helmet. None of this gear is very good, and I'm planning to replace it first thing in the morning. I don't have much money left over, but I do still have quite a few piece of gear for chaos recipes. I can currently do 8, and with just getting a few more weapons, I can do upwards of 15. So I'll have about 30 chaos tomorrow to just quickly spend on everything, and I'll just buy a 5 chaos item in every slot, which should be more than enough. I also got a hoop in like Act 9. I just decided to put it on because it's a pretty strong leveling unique, but both this and my mark of submission are both going to be replaced first thing in the morning. That's all there really is to say about my gear. I am, like I said, pretty happy with everything. The other thing I really want to talk about is going to be Mercenaries. Now, I plan to talk about these a lot more tomorrow, but I just want to say that these things are kind of busted. A lot of people end up grabbing a Mercenary in Act 1, and that Mercenary was so strong that they just got carried through Act 1 like it was nothing. They are pretty strong while leveling. Currently, I just have a random one with Purity of Ice on it just because I didn't really have one and I wasn't going to be cold res cap going into maps, so I decided why not take the Purity of Ice one, but I'm going to look for something better for tomorrow. We'll see exactly what that ends up being. I'm thinking maybe one with a Determination aura because a little bit of extra armor would feel pretty good, or Malevolence until we get the Specters or Haste so we can progress through the maps a little bit faster. We'll figure that out and we'll figure out what kind of gear to give them tomorrow so they can expect a little bit more info on that then. That's all I really have to say for today. I had a wonderful time with this, and pretty much everyone in chat also agreed. A lot of people just seemed like they were vibing and deleting everything. So I'm glad everyone's having fun, and hopefully everyone here on YouTube is also having a good time. I stream every day on Twitch, so feel free to come by if you want to come watch the progression live. And if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to drop by or come hang out with all the other kitties and be a part of our community, either both on Twitch and on Discord, if you'd prefer that instead. With that said, I hope you kitties have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the day 2 update.